With the new parliament building, this monsoon session is going to mark a significant milestone for Indian parliamentary tradition. From 20th of July to 11th of August, both the houses are expected to see a flurry of activity with discussions, decisions and protests. While Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi has already urged all parties to contribute towards productive discussions, it may not be smooth sailing for the government this session. The government is likely to face tough questions on the Manipur situation and the Delhi Ordinance. Turmoil is expected, but so is the introduction and potential passage of 21 new bills and 7 old ones. But before we take a look at them, let's look at other crucial agendas that may define proceedings. First up is the situation in Manipur. This is the first time that the government will face the parliament since the violence began. On 20th July today, following a strident demand by opposition MPs for an exclusive focus on the Manipur violence, the Rajya Sabha adjournment extended until 2 p.m. Senior Congress leader Jairam Ramesh labelling the demand for a discussion on the crisis as non-negotiable. Opposition leaders including Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge and TMC MP Derek O'Brien called for PM Modi's direct address in the House on the Manipur incident, which he described as shameful for any civilized society. Next, we have the issue of the Delhi Ordinance, which the Aam Aadmi Party claims gives the Lieutenant Governor power to override the elected government. The opposition's demand for a structured debate on this is likely to trigger major sparks. The Uniform Civil Code is another topic which seems to be set for heated discussion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent pitch for UCC has led to calls for structured debate to clarify the positions of the parties. Now, let's take a look at some of the significant bills that are likely to come up for debate. Among these is the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023. While critics say this will be misused, the draft proposes the processing of personal data in lawful manner, protecting individuals' rights. Also significant is the Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2022. It seeks to encourage the Indian system of medicine, attract foreign investments and streamline processes. However, critics argue this may benefit the Ayush industry at the expense of protecting biodiversity. The Forest Conservation Amendment Bill 2023, meanwhile, proposes to exempt certain categories of land from the Act's purview. Opposition MPs argue this can potentially harm forest cover, threaten biodiversity, and provoke extreme weather events. Next up is the Jan Vishwas Amendment of Provisions Bill 2023, which aims to decriminalize minor offences, enhancing trust-based governance. It amends 42 laws across agriculture, environment, and media sectors. One of the prominent features of the bill is its transformative effect on penalties and fine. It propels a shift from punitive fines to administrative penalties. Take, for example, the offences under the Indian Post Office Act of 1898, all of which will effectively be expunged with the passage of this bill. It proposes a systematic increase in fines and penalties for certain offences by 10% of the minimum amount to be implemented every 3 years. This built-in escalator mechanism ensures the deterrent effect of the fine remains intact, despite the economic fluctuations. To ensure a fair and just implementation of these penalties, the bill provides for the appointment of adjudicating officers. These officers are entrusted with the responsibility to impartially assess and decide penalties, thereby bringing an element of due process and judicial oversight to the proceedings. The Parliament is also likely to discuss the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022. It proposes various amendments including allowing state cooperative societies to merge into existing multi-state cooperative societies, which some argue may infringe upon the autonomy of cooperatives. It may also debate the Mediation Bill 2021, which aims to promote, encourage, and facilitate mediation for resolving civil and commercial disputes, though potentially reducing court pendency and making mediation mandatory raises questions about its voluntary nature. Other notable bills include the Postal Services Bill 2023, the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Sites and Remains Amendment Bill 2023, the International Monetary Fund and Bank Bill 2023, and the Provisional Collection of Taxes Bill 2023. With so many new bills and with previous sessions clocking poor productivity amid ruckus, the monsoon session promises to be action-packed. And of course, we might just have a new opposition entity in town, India, which stands for Indian National Democratic Inclusive Alliance. Will it be India versus NDA in Parliament this monsoon session? Let's see.
The subscription model is something that keeps Newslaundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. और गर्व से कहो, मेरे खर्च पर आजाद है खबरें.